It's me again, Ariel, this time in the next room along the corridor, moving away from the front door, from the front of the house, is the kitchen. I'm standing there. I'm going to go around the kitchen in a clockwise direction so I don't forget anything. We'll start off by down here, maybe you can see it says fire action, and down there in the direction of my finger is the fire extinguisher, and that's for a particular type of fire. Let me see what it says up there. There's some instructions on the wall over here. Well, I can't remember much. Maybe it's for chip fires. Better read the instructions. It's not for any type of fire, but there's the fire extinguisher there. And here is a fire blanket. Can you see a bit of it? I'm not sure. So if you get a chip pan fire, for example, pull out the blanket and drop it over the flames. That should extinguish them. Next, washing machine there. There's two rubbish bins here. One's purple one with a pedal is for general rubbish, and the other one, the white bin, the last people installed it, I suppose they used it for recyclable items. And I think somewhere in the instructions it specifies what's recyclable. In this country, or in London, it's plastic bottles, metal cans, paper, cardboard, all those mixed together are recycled. You just put them in one place, and then they go out to the front garden. There's bins for it, and that's described in the paper instructions. Okay, washing machine. There's cupboards here with crockery and cutlery and pots and pans. That's cupboards over there in the drawer and behind me here. On the counter we've got a electric kettle. It's got two controls. I'm not sure whether you can see it. It's got a control down there. Don't use that one because that gives it an urn function. Just as the upper control, that's a normal kettle function. So when it reaches boiling temperature, it turns off. If you operate the lower button, then it keeps reheating to keep the water at boiling temperature, which is a bit annoying, unless you're having a party or something. And the blind, the cupboard over here has got some basic items of food, tea, coffee, maybe some pasta and so on. A few items, and I'll come on to the fridge. Over here there's a kitchen roll. Now the blind, the right hand control is the same as in the front room, this Venetian blind, raises and lowers, but to change the angle of the blades, of those whatever they're called, there's a different control. There's this rotary rod, rotating it one way, it moves the slats horizontal, and moving it back the other way, the slats slope downwards. Kitchen sink's quite normal. There's some more crockery and plates there and glasses. There's an old-fashioned radio here, and the toast is unusual in that the timer you set here, it turns the heat on as well, but the toast you put in there, you've got to lower the toast by lifting this knob up. That lowers the toast. And this down to lift the toast up again. Turn that off. The oven is electric. Controls are slightly... I can't read properly the controls here, it's become faded, but the left-hand control, if you turn that to it's now pointing upwards. If you turn it so it's pointing downwards, it turns on the fan in the oven, and now you set the temperature you want the oven to get to with the knob on the right. I'm pointing it downwards now. That's temperature of, I think, 180 degrees Celsius. And so that controls the temperature of the oven. Turn that pointing upwards, it's off, and this turns the fan off. The hob is a gas hob. The self-ignition doesn't work, so you have to light it with a match. unfortunately. And to do so, light the match first, turn on the correct button here. So this button here will control that burner. Light the gas, but keep your finger pressed very firmly, very, very hard, and let go, it carries on. If you don't press it firmly enough, it doesn't stay lit. So you've got to push it really hard, as hard as you can, downwards. And that's it. So we've dealt with that. Turn this off. There's some knives there. Fridge and freezer. The fridge has got 1 or 2 items of food in it for new guests, like bread and milk and perhaps maybe fruit and something else I've forgotten what actually. Cheese, usually, some cheddar cheese, vegetarian cheese. Microwaves over there. Now what have I left out? Yes, very important. This is the boiler for hot water, for the taps, and also hot water for the central heating. Occasionally a fault develops and there's no hot water and there's no hot water for the radiators or the taps. And then the customary fault, it occurs every few weeks. You get on a display there, at the moment it says 0, that's good. If it says F and then a 1, alternately F1, that's fault F1, you have to, there's a loss of pressure in the system and you've got to raise the pressure. I'll show you how to do that shortly. I'll turn this video off, bring the camera closer so you can see what's going on. I think that completes, let's look at my checklist. Everything for this room. Boiler, toaster, fire extinguisher, fire blanket, blind. Oh no, one more thing. This cupboard down here, if you can see my hand, down here, there's a cupboard and it's got an anti-child lock. You press, there's a lever on the left hand side, you press it down and it enables the cupboard to open, and you've got cleaning materials in there. So that's an anti-child device on that cupboard. Okay, I shall move the camera closer and we'll look at the boiler. I'm not quite sure how to turn the camera off, so I just move it to the spot here. Now, where are we? Yes. Now, if you see that fault F1 occurring on that display at the top, up there, F and then 1, you've got to remove this cover, move the radio out of the way, take this cover, lift it and twist it and take it away, to expose the underside of the boiler. Now, I wish I could pause this. I don't know how to pause it. I'll take the camera out.